Hey everyone, welcome back to a sim racing experience. My name's Jose and I'm a sim racer here in Miami. This is going to be section 2 of the beginner's guide to sim racing, and I've actually gotten it written down here just so that I can kind of go through this quickly. And today I'm going to be talking about the equipment used and just some of the basic brands that are out there for anybody that wants to get into sim racing. I have it written down here just because it's quite a bit and I just want to make sure that this just becomes clear. Starting with the wheel, I'm currently using a Thrustmaster TGT base with several different of the Ferrari add-ons. There's also wheels from Sim Racing Bay. They're really doing really well with the direct drive setups. Also Fanatec, which is doing amazing stuff with the new direct drive for both the PlayStation and the PC. I've actually got the Fanatec shifter here, and it's an amazing piece of kit. So that's something else that you might want to look into, and that's the shifter. I have to recommend the Fanatec shifter just because it's the only one I've used, and I'm sure that there's other stuff out there that works just as well, but I really think that the build quality on this for the price and the simple ease of just being able to switch back and forth between H pattern and sequential makes it pretty much a no-brainer for the price. Some people might say it's expensive. I think that, the entire sim racing world, yeah, I mean, it is a little bit expensive, but for what it is, it's a solid piece that I think will last for a very long time. And when it comes to running either iRacing, Assetto Corsa, whatever platform it is that you decide to run on, as I talked about in section 1, definitely recommend using a PC or a PlayStation 4. And when it comes to the PC, I'll put the specs for my PC below, but that obviously comes down to your needs, your budget, and basically just building something that's going to work best for you. When it comes to monitors, I'm just using a basic $150 Best Buy monitor since a lot of what I do is VR racing. It didn't make a whole lot of sense for me to go out and buy a monitor. I think eventually I will go out and buy a monitor if I decide to do a triple monitor setup someday, or just like a nicer single screen setup. Sometimes it is actually nicer to do it outside of VR. It's just sometimes more comfortable. And even in the VR, you can still view your desktop. So there's really not that huge need for a monitor unless it's something you want or unless it's something that you plan on using for racing. And when it comes to single screen monitors, I understand that anything above 100 hertz, it's probably going to be best just for being able to get a picture that accurately represents what's going on track and what's going on in the game. So again, that's probably going to be something that's going to be based on your budget and based on your needs. For VR, I'm currently using the Oculus Rift, the second generation, and I have a custom audio setup that I plan on reviewing one day, and it was actually from somebody else here on YouTube that recommended it, and took about 2 seconds, and it was a pretty easy decision. The setup looked comfortable, it looked good, and believe it or not, the colors matched the entire scheme of the rig, so that all kind of worked out pretty well. And I haven't had any issues with the Oculus. It's comfortable and it works every single time that I set it up. So definitely, if you want to get into VR, I haven't used anything else, but the Oculus has been great for me. On this next subject, there's so many chairs out there that this is something that's going to be very much tailored to your needs. And for me, when I decided to get a chair, I think it was more about wanting to get something that looked cool but also worked. And I picked up the Playseat F1 in red, and me being a massive Formula One fan and Ferrari fan, I think that being able to set a goal to get one of these in my mind was something that kind of really pushed me to work harder, and I was able to do it. So if I were to do it again now, knowing what I know, I would definitely go with something a little bit better built. I think that the chair, it's a great quality, but it's also not the most rigid chair. There is a little bit of flex. I'm sure that could be mounted to some sort of platform but it doesn't come with any kind of a platform. So definitely, depending on size, people getting in and out, it could flex quite a bit. So that's kind of my only thing with that chair. And for long periods of time, you get used to it after a while, but there's definitely a bit of lower back pain there. There's also, chairs from Next Level Racing, even here local company called Ricmotech. They do great setups and great rigs. So look around for all of these different brands, Playseat, Next Level Racing, Ricmotech. I've seen a lot of great stuff from Vizaro, and there's so much out there. There's so much that's starting to come out, and look around to see what best fits you. My decision was based on the type of cars that I love and the type of cars that I wanted to drive. So that's how I ended up with the Formula style. And to wrap up this section, just want to touch really quick on button boxes and separate controllers. A lot of the games, they have mappable hotkeys. So you can go in there and map everything to a separate key to how you want it, so that when you're sitting down at your chair or wherever it is that you're sitting down, everything is within reach. And of course, just like anything else, that to me has taken time. I don't even have a button box, but it's something that I do plan to acquire at some point. And little by little, I've been doing whatever I can to make everything as efficient as possible. And adding a button box makes it that much more efficient, so that you can really focus on the experience. And adding a button box can really just make the entire experience a lot more efficient and a lot more enjoyable. And that's going to be it for section 2. I will see you tomorrow on the next one. See you later.